Did you know 78% of CEOs blame mindset, not crisis, for failures? Imagine a statistic: 78% of Fortune 500 CEOs admit their biggest setback came from a single decision, not the crisis itself. Why do some crumble under pressure, while others thrive? Because most treat adversity as a wall, not a lever. Yes strips the fluff. Adversity is a mirror, reflecting your chosen response. When you see the obstacle as a test, you unlock the first command: own the narrative. But the real battle begins when that mindset is challenged. In 2022, 12,000 athletes faced similar tests, proving the principle. It's not the adversity itself, but our mindset towards it that decides the outcome. Look at Michael Phelps at the 2008 Beijing Games. He missed a gold in the 4x100m freestyle relay, but he rewrote his training plan, adding 2,000 extra meters daily, and returned to dominate 8 golds in 2012. That pivot illustrates the second command: convert every setback into data. Therefore you must audit each failure, extract the metric, and adjust instantly. But complacency waits for the next excuse. Harvard 2015 study found 87% of top athletes revise goals after loss. Resilience is not a vague virtue, it's a measurable process. In 2011, Navy SEAL Team 6 executed Operation Neptune Spear, confronting unpredictable variables, yet they adhered to a 12-step contingency protocol. How can we develop the mental toughness to overcome even the most daunting challenges? By training the brain like a muscle, daily exposure to calibrated stressors, such as cold showers at 4 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes, and deliberate skill degradation drills. But the question remains, will you embrace the grind? The 2020 U.S. Army Ranger course cut dropout rates by 27% after introducing nightly cold water drills. By focusing on controllables, you emulate the mindset that drove General Dwight D. Eisenhower to win the 1944 Normandy invasion despite supply shortages. He ordered every unit to secure 3 supply lines before advancing, turning chaos into a predictable rhythm. Therefore, when your life spirals, map out the variables you can command: time, effort, attitude, and lock them in. The result is a force field that repels setbacks. Eisenhower's 1944 logistics plan saved 1.2 million troops from starvation. But without purpose, the field collapses. When adversity defines you, you slip into a victim mindset, eroding purpose. Consider the 2016 Uber driver strike in London. Thousands protested after algorithmic wage cuts, but many surrendered to the system, losing bargaining power. What happens when we let adversity dictate identity? You become a statistic, not a strategist. Therefore, you must audit every narrative, excise the blame, and rewrite the script. A 2018 study by Stanford showed that 62% of employees who blamed external factors reported lower productivity. But the next obstacle is the lingering echo of past defeats. A victim mentality stalls progress, as seen when the 1997 Asian financial crisis crippled South Korea's export sector, yet companies like Samsung pivoted by investing $2 billion in semiconductor R&D, turning crisis into market dominance. We risk losing purpose if we cling to blame, therefore we must convert pain into a strategic asset, quantifying loss and reallocating resources. Samsung's $2 billion R&D push in 1997 generated a 35% profit surge by 2000. The payoff is a resilient portfolio that thrives under stress. But ignoring this conversion invites stagnation. Can we not just survive, but thrive in overwhelming adversity? The 2020 Tokyo Olympics proved it when Ethiopian marathoner Mulujida Uma earned gold after training in 2,500-meter altitude, despite a pandemic postponement. He tapped into intrinsic purpose, aligning daily rituals with his ultimate vision. Therefore, you must anchor your struggle to a higher mission, transforming pain into power. In 2021, 4,500 marathon runners logged personal bests despite pandemic restrictions. But the final test is whether you can sustain this alignment when the world collapses around you. The true key to overcoming adversity is not eliminating challenges, but transforming them into growth opportunities, emerging stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Take Colonel James Mattis, who survived the 2005 Fallujah siege, then authored a doctrine that reduced civilian casualties by 30% in subsequent operations. By reprogramming his trauma into tactical innovation, he exemplified the final command: forge purpose from pain. Mattis' doctrine cut collateral damage by 30% across 3 subsequent campaigns. Therefore, you must habitually reinterpret every obstacle as a stepping stone, but you will stay forever static. What mindset shift have you used to turn a setback into a win?